Frozen 2, stylized as Frozen 2, is a 2019 American animated musical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios and released by Walt Disney Pictures as the sequel to Frozen, 2013. The film was directed by Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee and produced by Peter Dal Vecchio, from a screenplay by Lee. The directors co-wrote the story with Mark Smith, Kristen Anderson Lopez, and Robert Lopez. It stars the voices of Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, Josh Gad, and Jonathan Groff. Set 3 years after the events of the first film, Frozen 2 follows sisters Anna and Elsa, and their companions Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf as they travel to an enchanted forest to unravel the origin of Elsa's magical power. Frozen 2 was greenlit in March 2015 after a company debate about whether it would be perceived as inferior to the original. It used more complex, enhanced animation technology compared to the first film, and was an interdepartmental collaboration. Anderson Lopez and Lopez returned as the film's songwriters, and Christophe Beck again composed the score. The film was translated into 46 languages and was accompanied by Into the Unknown, making Frozen 2, a documentary series. Frozen 2 premiered in Hollywood, Los Angeles, on November 7, 2019, and was released in the United States on November 22. It received generally positive reviews from critics, although it was considered inferior to its predecessor. The film grossed $1.450 billion worldwide, finishing its theatrical run as the third highest grossing film of 2019, the 10th highest grossing film in history, and the second highest grossing animated film of all time. It also held the title of the highest grossing worldwide opening for an animated film for 3 years. Frozen 2 received a nomination for Best Original Song at the 92nd Academy Awards, among numerous other accolades. A sequel, Frozen 3, is scheduled to be released in 2027. Plot: King Agnar of Arendelle tells his daughters Elsa and Anna that their grandfather, King Runerd, forged a treaty with the neighboring tribe of Nordhuldra by building a dam in their homeland, the Enchanted Forest. A fight occurred, resulting in Runerd's death and enraging the forest's classical elements of earth, fire, water, and air. The elements disappeared, and a wall of mist trapped everyone in the forest. Agnar barely escaped, helped by an unknown savior. 3 years after her coronation, Elsa celebrates autumn in the kingdom with Anna, the snowman Olaf, the iceman Kristoff, and Kristoff's reindeer Sven. One night, Elsa hears a mysterious voice calling her. She follows it, unintentionally awakening the elemental spirits, who are forcing everyone in the kingdom to evacuate. The rock troll colony arrives, and Grandpappy tells the sisters they must set things right by uncovering the truth about the past. Elsa, Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven follow the mysterious voice, and travel to the enchanted forest. The mist parts at Elsa's touch, while the air spirit appears as a tornado, catching everyone in its vortex until Elsa stops it by turning the vortex into ice sculptures that show images from their father's past. Elsa also befriends the fire spirit, who is an agitated magical salamander. They later encounter the Nordhuldra and a troop of Arendellian soldiers who are still in conflict with one another. Anna and Elsa arrange a truce between the soldiers and the Nordhuldra after discovering that their mother, Queen Idina, was a Nordhuldran who had saved the Arendellian Agnar. The Nordhuldra tell them about a fifth spirit, who is meant to reunite the people with the magic of nature. While Kristoff and Sven stay with the Nordhuldra, Elsa, Anna, and Olaf continue north. They find their parents' wrecked ship and a map with a route to Adohallen, a mythical river said to explain the past. Believing she should continue alone, Elsa sends Anna and Olaf to safety despite Anna's protests. She encounters and tames the Nuk, the water spirit who guards the sea to Adohallen. Elsa discovers that the voice calling to her is the memory of young Idina and that her powers are a gift from nature because of Idina's selfless saving of Agnar. Venturing into the most dangerous part of Adohallen, she learns that the dam was built as a ruse to reduce Nordhuldran resources because of Runerd's contempt for the tribe's connection with magic, and that he began the conflict by murdering the Nordhuldran leader in cold blood. Elsa relays this information to Anna before freezing solid, which in turn causes Olaf to fade away from existence. Upon discovering the truth, Anna concludes that the dam must be destroyed for peace to be restored and the forest to be freed. She awakens the earth spirit, Jotun, and lures it towards the dam. The massive rock giants hurl boulders, destroying the dam and sending a flood down the fjord towards the kingdom. Elsa thaws and rides the Nock to Arendelle, where she freezes the flood and saves the kingdom. As the mist disappears, she rejoins Anna and revives Olaf, before Kristoff proposes to Anna. Realizing she is the fifth spirit herself, Elsa explains to Anna that they are the bridge between the people and the magical spirits. Elsa abdicates the throne to Anna and becomes the protector of the enchanted forest, visiting Arendelle regularly with peace restored. In a post-credits scene, Olaf visits Elsa's ice palace and recounts the events to Marshmallow, the snow giant created by Elsa as palace guard bee, and the snow geese, miniature snowmen inadvertently generated by Elsa from sneezing. See Voice cast. Main article, list of Frozen characters. A dark-haired Idina Menzel, singing at an event. A smiling, blonde-haired Kristen Bell. Idina Menzel, Elsa, in 2008 and Kristen Bell, Anna, in 2013. Idina Menzel as Elsa, Queen of Arendelle and Anna's older sister, who has magical ice powers 1 2 3. Masha Conforti and Eva Bella as young Elsa 4. Kristen Bell as Anna, Princess of Arendelle and Elsa's younger sister, who becomes Queen of Arendelle after Elsa's abdication 5 1 2. Hadley Ganaway and Livy Steuben-Rock as young Anna 4. Josh Gad as Olaf, a snowman created by Elsa 6. Jonathan Groff as Kristoff, an ice harvester and Anna's boyfriend. 27 Groff also voices Sven, Kristoff's reindeer, and several other reindeers 8. Frozen 2 also features Martha Plimpton as the Nordhuldra chief Yelena 9 and Sterling K. Brown as the Arendelle Lieutenant Mashes. 10 Jason Ritter voices Ryder, a member of Nordhuldra, and Rachel Matthews voices Honey Marin, Ryder's sister who also resides in the Enchanted Forest. 9. Evan Rachel Wood voices Ejuna, Elsa and Anna's mother, 11 and Delaney Rose Stein voices the young Ejuna. 4 Alfred Molina voices Agnar, Elsa and Anna's father, 12 and Jackson Stein voices young Agnar. Jeremy Sisto voices Runerd 4, Agnar's father and Elsa and Anna's grandfather 13-14, Siren Hines voices the rock troll head Pabby, and Aurora is the voice, a call to Elsa. 4-15-16 Alan Tudyk voices a guard, a Nordhuldran leader, and an Arendellian soldier. Paul Briggs reprised his role in the post-credits scene as Marshmallow, a snow monster created by Elsa. 4-17. Production. Conception. 3 people smiling for a photograph before a Frozen-themed red carpet backdrop. Left to right, producer Peter Dalvecco, director and writer Jennifer Lee, and director Chris Buck at Frozen's 2013 premiere. Producer Peter Dalvecco said on March 31, 2014, that he, Chris Buck, and Jennifer Lee collaborated well, and he envisioned another Frozen-related project. 18 The following month, Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan F. Horn said that a sequel would not be immediately forthcoming because the studio was focusing on a Broadway musical adaptation of Frozen. 1920 In a May 2014 CNBC interview with David Faber, the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger said that the company would not force the development of a sequel, because it was concerned about not living up to the first film. Iger said that the Frozen franchise is something that is kind of forever for the company, similar to The Lion King. 21. On June 10, 2014, Lee confirmed that Walt Disney Studios CEO John Lasseter had authorized her and Buck to explore a possible sequel. 22-23 While working on the short film Frozen Fever, 2015, they realized that they missed the characters. Meanwhile, Dalvecco had been asked by fans about Frozen's future. Lee, Buck, and Dalvecco discussed the possibility of a sequel. 23 Buck later said, "The one thing that we did right away was to figure out what would be satisfying for Anna and Elsa at the end of the movie." 24. They decided on ending the sequel with Anna becoming the Queen of Arendelle, while Elsa would be free. 23. Development. At the Walt Disney Animation Studio, as with Pixar, when we do a sequel, it is because the filmmakers who created the original have created an idea that is so good that it's worthy of these characters. John Lasseter, announcing Frozen 2:25. Iger, Lasseter, and actor Josh Gad announced at Disney's March 12, 2015, annual shareholders meeting in San Francisco that Frozen 2, a full-length sequel, was in development. Buck and Lee would return as directors, and Del Vecco as producer. 25-26 The production team traveled to Norway, Finland, and Iceland for background research. 27-28 They decided to make Elsa a mythic hero with magic ice powers and Anna a fairytale hero who lives in a magical world but has no magic powers. They concluded that the first film successfully combined the two elements. 3 Alison Schroeder was hired to assist Lee with the script in August 2018 after Lee succeeded Lasseter as Disney Animation CCO. 29 Lee was credited as the film's screenwriter, and Schroeder was credited with additional screenplay material. 30 The film's story contributions were made by Lee, Buck, Mark Smith, Kristen Anderson Lopez, and Robert Lopez. 31 Overall, the budget was approximately $150 million. 32. Voice recording began in September 2017. 33-34 Although Menzel started a couple of weeks later due to a concert tour. 35 That month, Gad announced his role in the sequel with Buck, Lee, Del Vecco, and Lasseter. 36-37 In July 2018, Variety reported that Wood and Brown were in talks to join the cast. 38 Their roles were later disclosed as Ejuna 39 and Lieutenant Destin Mashes. 40 Wood was cast because her voice resembled Menzel and Bell's. 39 The voice of Agnar was changed from Maurice LaMarche to Molina. 41 The voice's four-note call, derived from the Latin sequence dies irae, is delivered in a manner resembling the Scandinavian music form kulning. 42 Frozen 2's first completed scenes were test screened at the Annecy International Animated Film Festival in June 2019. 43-44 Where Becky Brissy and effects animation head Marlon West said that the film was still in production, with 7 weeks of animation to be completed and 10 weeks of special effects. 45 The filmmakers collaborated with Sami experts on the depiction of the Nordhuldra tribe with Verdit, an advisory group which was the result of an agreement between the Walt Disney Company, the Transnational Sami Council, and the Sami parliaments of Finland, Norway, and Sweden. 46 Anderson Lopez confirmed that Elsa would have no female love interest in the film, despite some fans' desire for one. 47 Lee later explained to the New York Times reporter Maureen Dowd that Elsa's main audience did not seem ready for such a relationship. 48 Lee also stated in a press conference that Frozen 2 would not acquire elements from the television series Once Upon a Time's Frozen storyline, which was part of its 4th season. 49 Frozen 2 underwent significant revisions after its first test screening in San Diego. Disney Animation discovered that although adults liked the film, children found it hard to follow. The production team realized they needed to clarify the identity of the voice and the point of Elsa's transformation, and add more comedy and shots of Bruni, the fire salamander. A scene of expository dialogue in which the lead characters explained to the people trapped in the enchanted forest why they had come there was replaced with Olaf's humorous recap of Frozen. Due to the changes, the animators needed to create 61 new shots and redo another 35. An undisclosed number of shots were cut from the finished film. About a dozen animators and artists worked for 2 months on an elaborate resurrection scene for Olaf before it was cut. 50. The last major animation scene completed before the production team locked the picture was Show Yourself, the musical number in which Elsa enters Ado Holland and learns all the secrets she has been seeking. According to Del Vecco, the scene required all of the resources at the studio to get the film done on time. 23 Lopez said that the first draft of Show Yourself was very different from its final version. 51 Megan Harding directed an official documentary series on the production of Frozen 2, which depicted the process of Del Vecco and Lopez determining the voice's identity. Once the production team settled on Queen Ejuna, the lyrics of Show Yourself finally began to come together. but then the studio's artists, designers, and animators needed to quickly figure out how to stage the dramatic culmination of Elsa's journey towards becoming the Snow Queen. 50. The film was edited by Jeff Draheim. 52. Design. Costume and character designs underwent several revisions before they were finalized. According to designer Griselda Sastroanatolome, the process was the most intricate of any animated film. Technological advancements allowed the designer to create more detailed outfits, with extra beads and sequins. The team used Marvelous Designer, a computer-generated imagery, CGI, program, to drape each character's clothing. 53. Anna's outfit was inspired by the Norwegian folk bunad, worn during the 1840s and 1850s. Typically made of wool, it had decorative embroidery. Anna lost the pigtail braid she had in Frozen because she is 3 years older in Frozen 2, and it was replaced by a braid across the back of her head. Aging Elsa 3 years was inspired by artists Alexander McQueen and Elie Saab. Saab's designs had long trains and cumbersome floor-length hemlines. The designers instead created a tailored coat with a double panel cape and epaulets, highlighting Elsa's strength. 53. The animation team used a curve-based method for the intricate embroidery. A program interpreted two-dimensional visual designs as line strokes, rendering them as curves. This allowed quick changes, minimizing manual work during design modifications. It also supported freeform stitching with threads of various widths, colors, and densities, crucial to the production of a variety of embroidery styles. 54. Animation. About 800 people, 80 of them animators, were involved in the production of Frozen 2. 55. Tony Smead and Becky Brissy were the film's heads of animation. 3. Hyun Min Lee replaced Brissy as supervising animator for Anna, while Wayne Unton again served as supervising animator for Elsa as he had done on Frozen. Steve Goldberg was the supervising animator for visual effects. 56-57 Scott Beatty was the director of cinematography layout, while Mohit Kalyanpur was the director of cinematography lighting. 58. Frozen 2 made use of advancements in technology, artistic performance, and skeletal animation. 59 Before the animation began, Unton showed scenes of superheroes like Frozone to Elsa's animators as examples of what to avoid. 56 Creating the personal flurry effect was so difficult for the animators that the directors had Elsa put a permafrost coating on Olaf in Frozen 2 instead. 60 Elsa's graceful movements were modeled on Frozen and modern dance, particularly Martha Graham's work. 56. In accordance with Disney's preference for a different style for each film and the director's and production designer's artistic vision, the multi-departmental animation team 30 was instructed to reconstruct the characters so they were slightly different in tone and style from Frozen. They differed in very subtle ways, with a through line from the first movie to the second. 59 As well as making the enchanted forest vegetation autumnal, the effects team applied two internally developed applications, Vegetation Asset and Fire Tree, to enhance the film's vegetation and fire animation. 61 Lighting and special effects were applied to glacial ice, spirit magic, and memory. 62. The first step for the animation team was to study the screenplay and understand the characters. Blocking, creating key poses, was next, followed by CGI and layout. 57-63 Effects were proposed for layout before animation process to choreograph the dam collapse scene. 64 Although Frozen's greatest difficulty for Frozen was the winter snow, Frozen 2 is set in fall. Its main challenge was how to consistently depict the wind and pass that downstream. 57-63 Frozen 2's animation software was influenced by the software in several other Disney films. Anna's hair was animated with Quicksilver, developed for Moana, 2016, to deal with wind. For Elsa's hair, the lighting software Beast was used. A vocal coach instructed the animators on how a singer would breathe. 65 The animators then spent about 8 months creating Nook, which has a liquid appearance, with effects supervised by Aaron Ramos. Jotens had a long rigging process to avoid making rocks distracting. 30. The water simulation was intended to be more realistic than in Moana. 66. To create Gale, the wind spirit, a tool called Swoop was developed. They later received real-time feedback from the supervisors, directors, and producer. 67-68. Music. Main article, Frozen 2, soundtrack. Kristen and Bobby Lopez during an interview, seen from the side. A bearded, smiling, bespectacled Christoph Beck in a plaid shirt. Songwriters Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez in 2019, and composer Christoph Beck in 2012. Lopez and Anderson Lopez returned from Frozen to write songs for the sequel, and Christoph Beck returned as composer. 69. The soundtrack album was released on November 15, 2019, 70 after the release of Panic at the Disco's version of one of the film's songs, Into the Unknown. 71. The 7-song album also contains a remix of Reindeer's Are Better Than People from Frozen. 72. Beck said that the score conveys Elsa and Anna's emotional growth, matured and introducing more sophisticated musical concepts and thematic elements. He wanted it to reflect the film's complex, intense imagery. 72. Anderson Lopez described the album's theme as a meta-story. Although Harding sent a camera crew to the Lopez home in Brooklyn to document their songwriter and composing. 73. The composers found the crew intrusive and did most of their work off camera. 74. Thematic analysis. A reindeer grazing on autumn vegetation. Reindeer have been venerated by the Sami people, who consider them symbolic of Sami strength and identity. The indigenous Sami people were historically associated with reindeer, and identified with the animal's strength. Trude Fonelland wrote that a female divinity emphasized female contributions with themes including unity, courage, hope, friendship, and truth. 75. 76. 77. Elsa attempted to send Anna away because she was concerned about her sister's safety. 78. 79. In animation, female characters embody female images as a whole. The film's female characters are emotionally diverse, motivated by social status and awakening of feminism. The elegant, noble Elsa wants to be free and live a normal life, and Anna is dreamy, cheerful, and enthusiastic, both acted to defend their kingdom from danger. 80. Frozen 2 has been interpreted as a critique of colonialism and as advocating reparation. 581-82. Before Elsa and Anna were born, their grandfather King Runerd built a dam for the Nordhuldra tribe. Ostensibly a gift, the dam weakens the tribe's magical power. Runerd's plot fails after he murders the leader of Nordhuldra and war breaks out. The forest spirits which preside over Nordhuldra shroud it in an impenetrable mist, preventing anyone from leaving or entering. 582. The Nordhuldra are modeled on the Sami people, indigenous to Scandinavia and northwestern Russia, who experienced discrimination as pagans reputed to be skilled in magic and witchcraft. In 1609, King Christian IV of Denmark wrote that the Sami were adept at magic, and no mercy should be granted in cases involving Sami sorcery. Nordic missionaries confiscated or destroyed religious items and sites and built churches to supplant Sami shamanism. 583. A white dam, built between two bodies of vegetation. A subplot in which a dam is built on tribal land by King Runerd alludes to Norway's controversial Verdnejavr Dam. The Nordhuldra Dam reflects Sami history. A hydroelectric power station was built on the Alta Elva River in Norway from 1979 to 1981. The controversial Verdnejavr Dam flooded a Sami village, disrupting traditional hunting and herding. 84. Slate critic Inku Kong said that although Frozen 2 was obviously influenced by Sami history, the Nordhuldra may also be interpreted as representing displaced Native Americans. Arundel can be seen as representing the United States colonial past, evocative of the embellished life of Pocahontas. 5. The Nordhuldra are presented in an appealing way, romanticized as a people with magical power who live in harmony with the spiritual and physical worlds. 85. While Elsa attempts to find out who was calling her, Anna destroys the dam to make amends to the Nordhuldra for Arendelle's mistakes. Elsa's last-minute intervention prevents the destruction of the kingdom, but Anna destroys the dam in the belief that Elsa is dead. According to Kahn, the film promotes reparations for past atrocities. 5. Matt Goldberg wrote that the symbolism of the film's ending is undercut by having Elsa save Arendelle, instead of rebuilding the kingdom elsewhere. 82. Racial issues in Frozen 2 are mitigated by making Elsa and Anna half Nordhuldran, and their mother is depicted as a heroine who saved their father, King Agnar, from death during the battle. 586. Jennifer Baldwin described Frozen 2 as a film about trauma, transformation, and faith communities' more active role in environmental repair. 87. Environmental trauma is caused by the dam, which weakens the elemental spirits. Olaf describes the forest as a place of transformation, including venturing into the unknown, befriending the spirits and the indigenous Nordhuldra, and confronting trauma. Elsa gains the trust of the spirits, each leading her closer to the truth and her transformation into one of the elements. Anna employs the giants, symbolic of the earth, to break the dam, symbolic of trauma and mistrust, and gains her own strength, independent of her relationship with Elsa. According to Baldwin, this encourages the audience to adopt more sustainable practices, make amends, and work together to preserve the natural world. 81. The film can introduce young children to environmental issues, such as climate change. 88. Sociologist Lauren Dunst describes Elsa's relationship with the mythological horse Nuck and concludes that her skills as a horse whisperer do not threaten men's ascendancy. These themes show how Disney balked at modernizing Elsa, retreating to outdated conceptions of gender roles. 89. Neokurnia Wadi wrote that Frozen 2's feminist message was subtle and realistic. 90. Marketing and release. Prior to the film's first trailer, a Frozen 2 DVD appears in the 2016 film Zootopia, alongside Moana, and the unproduced film Gigantic. 91. Disney released the first trailer for Frozen 2 on February 13, 2019. 92. Viewed 116.4 million times in its first 24 hours, it was the most watched animated film trailer until the teaser of Inside Out 2, 2024, surpassed that record in November 2023. 93. 94. At the release of the preview poster, American astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson commented that water crystals have hexagonal six-fold symmetry, shown correctly in Frozen, but the poster had a four-sided snowflake. 95. Lee replied that it was not really a snowflake, the four sides represented the four elemental spirits and its center represented Elsa, the fifth spirit. 96. 97. Disney partnered with 140 other brands worldwide to promote Frozen 2, the highest number of brands for a Disney animated film. They marketed Frozen 2 in the US through internal and external partners, including Enterprise Rent-A-Car, McDonald's, and Lego. 98. To support the film's marketing campaign, the lead voice cast made several public and televised appearances. These included a Friendsgiving stunt night on ABC, introductions on The Masked Singer, and a Women of Impact program on Nat Geo Wild. 99. In November 2019, the lead voice cast schedules were so full that Bell said, "Time was not there." 100. The 103-minute film Frozen 2 premiered on November 7, 2019, at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, Los Angeles. 101. 102. It was initially scheduled for release on November 27, 103, but was moved forward 5 days, to November 22, 2019. 104. On January 17, 2020, a sing-along version of Frozen 2 was released. 105. It was localized by Disney Character Voices International into 45 languages by its original theatrical release date. 106. Frozen had been translated into 41 languages. 107. The success of Frozen's localized versions led to the release of an album with all versions of Let It Go, 108. And Jaikengan 2, a Northern Sami version, was released to honor the people's contributions. 109. Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released Frozen 2 for digital download on February 11, 2020, and on Blu-ray and DVD on February 25. 110 at the same time, a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, Ultimate Collector's Edition, and 4K UHD Blu-ray Steelbook Edition was released. 111 special features include a sing-along audio recording of the film, a presentation of the Nordic mythology on which the Enchanted Forest is based, 112 musical clips, and 29 translated versions of Into the Unknown, as well as deleted music and scenes. 113 The film, initially scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus on June 26, 2020, was moved up to March 15 in the United States and March 17 in Canada, the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 115 Documentary series. Main article, Into the Unknown, Making Frozen 2. Megan Harding, who had directed a 2014 making of ABC television special about Frozen, reached out to Disney Animation about documenting the production of Frozen 2, with the company's cooperation. Harding, working with Lincoln Square Productions, commuted from New York City to Burbank, California and shot 1,300 hours of footage in 115 days between December 2018 and the November 2019 world premiere. 74 She edited the footage 116 down to 6 episodes, about 35 to 45 minutes long. 74 Disney Animation knew that Harding intended to take a fearless and honest look at the filmmaking process. Her crew was asked to leave only 173 when the production team wanted to decide the mysterious voice's identity. 50 The documentary series, Into the Unknown, Making Frozen 2, was released on June 26, 2020. 74. Reception. Box office. Frozen 2 grossed $477.4 million in the United States and Canada and $976.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $1.453 billion. 32 It was the third highest grossing film of 2019, 117 the 10th highest grossing film of all time, 118 and the second highest grossing animated film of all time. 119 On December 15, 2019, Frozen 2 passed the $1 billion mark at the global box office. 120 Deadline Hollywood calculated the film's net profit as $599 million, accounting for production budgets, marketing, talent participations, and other costs. Box office grosses and home media revenues placed it second on their list of 2019's most valuable blockbusters. 121 According to Disney, who did not consider the 2019 Lion King remake an animated FLM but a live-action reboot, Frozen 2 was the highest-grossing animated FLM, surpassing Frozen, at that time. 122 Frozen 2's box office success was attributed to its release date near Thanksgiving. According to Comscore analyst Paul Dergarabdian, the film was perfectly positioned to play well into 2020. 123. Frozen 2 was released with A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood and 21 Bridges on November 22, 2019, in 4,440 theaters, 124 2,500 in 3D, 800 in the premium large format, including 400 in IMAX, and 235 in D-Box/4DX. 125 It grossed $41.8 million on its first day, 126 including $8.5 million from Thursday night previews. 124 The film debuted grossing $130 million, the highest opening for an animated film that month. 127 Frozen 2 primarily drew a mostly female audience and approximately 70% of the viewers were families. 128 Its second weekend grosses dropped by 34% to $85.6 million, with $125 million over the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend, 129 and followed by another $34.7 million the third weekend. 130 by December 29, the film's domestic grosses topped $400 million. 131 Frozen 2 left theaters by March 19, 2020, making it the fourth highest grossing film of 2019 in the United States and Canada. 132 At which point the film industry became significantly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. 133 134 Worldwide, Frozen 2 grossed $228.2 million in its opening weekend in 37 markets, for a global debut total of $358.5 million. This surpassed the 2019 remake of The Lion King to become the highest-grossing film for an animated title until The Super Mario Bros. Movie, 2023, took over. It had the best all-time opening of an animated film in the United Kingdom, $17.8 million, and France, $13.4 million, the biggest start for a Pixar or Disney animation title in China, $53 million, Japan, $18.2 million, Germany, $14.9 million, and Spain, $5.8 million, and the third biggest opening of any film in South Korea, $31.5 million. 128 135 136 The film grossed $11.4 million in its second week in the United Kingdom, bringing its total gross there to $35.3 million. 137 By January 5, 2020, the film's offshore gross had exceeded $875.3 million. 138 As of July 2021, its top international markets were Japan, $122.6 million, China, $122.3 million, South Korea, $95.5 million, the United Kingdom, $69.7 million, Germany, $60.6 million, and France, $53.9 million. 32. Critical response. Frozen 2 received generally positive reviews. 139 140 141 It has an approval rating of 77% based on 336 professional reviews on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, with an average rating of 6.7/10. The site's critical consensus reads, Frozen 2 can't quite recapture the show-stopping feel of its predecessor, but it remains a dazzling adventure into the unknown. 142 143 Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned Frozen 2 a score of 64 out of 100 score based on 47 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. 144 145 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A, lower than Frozen's A+, on an A+ to F scale. 146 and post-track rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars on the film's opening day. 124. Frozen 2 continues in the same non-threatening, emancipatory vein, jumping to life when Elsa responds to the siren's call. As before, the songs by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez are pleasantly melodious with lyrics that can have the quality of a confession, as if a friend were sharing her inner voice struggles. Manala Dargis, The New York Times. 147. Critics praised Frozen 2's craftsmanship, delivery, and themes. The New York Times critic Manala Dargis called the narrative a pink world of adventure and aspirational uplift, and Nell Minow of RoachRevert.com noted its frank, compelling depiction of issues which were understandable by audiences of all ages. Dargis cited Frozen 2's engaging visual imagery, balanced by romance and history, and Minow noted the film's autumnal palette. 31 147 Peter Travers, Rolling Stone, Simran Hans, The Guardian, and Todd McCarthy, The Hollywood Reporter, praised the film. Travers, who enjoyed reconnecting with the characters, called the animation stunning and referred to the music as tantalizing earworms. Hans compared the film's narrative to real-world efforts to mitigate climate change. McCarthy praised its catchy songs, easy-to-like characters, and astonishing backdrops, with humor and a plot driven by female empowerment galore. 148, 149, 150. Frozen 2's narrative, music, and focus were criticized. In the Wall Street Journal, John Anderson noted that the sequel was not innovative and criticized the film's flawed narrative and low-quality music in comparison with Frozen. 151. In an Empire review, Ben Travis said that the narrative relied too much on mythology and hazy backstories. 153. Minnow criticized the film's excessively detailed narrative. 31. And Observer writer Oliver Jones said that the film's energy and originality were overly focused on the sisters. 152. Reviewers for the Los Angeles Times and the Washington Post cited Frozen 2's complicated story and dark tone. 161. Accolades. Main article, list of accolades received by Frozen 2. At the 92nd Academy Awards, Frozen 2 received a nomination for Best Original Song. 162. The film's other nominations include 8 Annie Awards, winning 2, 163 a British Academy Film Award, 164 2 Critics' Choice Movie Awards, 165 and 2 Golden Globe Awards. Idina Menzel, Idin Menzel /IHDN Menzel, née Menzel, born May 30, 1971, 23 is an American actress and singer. Particularly known for her work in musicals on Broadway, she has been nicknamed the Queen of Broadway for her commanding stage presence, powerful mezzo-soprano voice, and reputation as one of the most influential stage actors of her generation. Having achieved mainstream success across stage, screen, and music, her accolades include a Tony Award and a Daytime Emmy Award. Menzel rose to prominence as a stage actress in 1996, making her Broadway debut as performance artist Maureen Johnson in the rock musical Rent, which earned her a Tony Award nomination for Best Featured Actress in a Musical. In 2003, she originated the role of Elphaba in the musical Wicked on Broadway, for which she won the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical. After leaving the show in 2005, she reprised the role in the musical's original West End production in 2006, becoming the highest-paid actress in West End theater history. In 2014, Menzel returned to Broadway in the musical If/Then, for which she received a third Tony Award nomination. Menzel began transitioning into film and television in the early 2000s. After reprising her Rent role in the musical's 2005 film adaptation, she had a supporting role in Disney's musical fantasy film Enchanted, 2007. She played recurring character Shelby Corcoran on the musical television series Glee from 2010 to 2013. Since 2013, Menzel has voiced Elsa in Disney's Frozen franchise. Let It Go, a song she recorded for the first film, peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Menzel has since played supporting roles in the films Uncut Gems, 2019, Cinderella, 2021, and You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, 2023. As a recording artist and songwriter, Menzel has released 7 studio albums, including I Stand, 2008, and Holiday Wishes, 2014, the latter peaked at number 6 on the Billboard 200, becoming her highest charting studio album to date. Early life and education. Idina Menzel was born on May 30, 1971, in Manhattan. And once she grew up in New Jersey until about age 3, her family moved to Syosset, New York, on Long Island. 6-7 Her parents are Stuart Menzel, a pajama salesman, and Helene Goldberg, a therapist. 8-9-10 She has a younger sister named Kara. Menzel is Jewish. 11-12-13 and her grandparents emigrated from Russia. 9 She attended J. Irving Baylis Elementary School in Plainview, New York, as well as H.B. Thompson Middle School in Syosset, and Syosset High School. 6-14 When Menzel was 15 years old, her parents divorced and she began working as a wedding and bar/bat mitzvah singer, a job that she held while a student at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, She earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in drama there 15-16 in 1992. 17 Idina changed the spelling of her surname to Menzel to better reflect the pronunciation that the Menzel family had adopted in the United States. 18 She was friends with actor Adam Pascal before they worked together in Rent. 8. In 2017, Irish songwriter Jimmy Walsh, who was based in New York City, said that in 1992, Menzel had recorded a demo for him of the song In Your Eyes, which went on to win the Eurovision Song Contest 1993 for Irish singer Nehemiah Kavanagh. Menzel was paid $75 for the recording. 19. Career. Theater career. Rent to the Wild Party, 1996 to 2000. In 1995, Menzel auditioned for Rent, which became her first professional theater job and her Broadway debut. Rent opened off-Broadway at the New York Theater Workshop on January 26, 1996, but it moved to Broadway's Nederlander Theater due to its popularity. For her performance as Maureen Johnson in the original cast of the musical, Menzel received a Tony nomination as Best Featured Actress in a Musical, losing to Anne Duquesne for Bring In Da Noise, Bring In Da Funk. Her final performance in the musical was on July 1, 1997. Despite her breakout performance in Rent, Menzel did not experience the immediate success she was expecting, claiming she subsequently faded into obscurity for the following 8 years. 20. Following the success of Rent, Menzel released her first solo album entitled Still I Can't Be Still on Hollywood Records. Menzel also originated the role of Dorothy in Summer of '42 at Goodspeed Opera House in Connecticut, starred as Sheila in the New York City Center Encores production of Hair, and appeared on Broadway as Amneris in Aida. Menzel earned a Drama Desk Award nomination for her performance as Kate in the Manhattan Theater Club's 2000 off-Broadway production of Andrew Lippa's The Wild Party. Her other off-Broadway credits include the pre-Broadway run of Rent and the Vagina Monologues. 21. Wicked, If/Then, Skin Tight, to Wild, 2003 to 2021. Menzel leaving the theater after a performance of Wicked. She rose to fame following her performance as Elphaba on Broadway from 2003 to 2005. In 2003, Menzel starred alongside Kristen Chenoweth on Broadway in Wicked, a musical by Stephen Schwartz and Winnie Halsman based upon Gregory Maguire's 1995 novel Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. Shortly after a San Francisco tryout, Wicked began previews on October 8, 2003, with an official opening night on October 30th. Menzel's performance as Elphaba, the misunderstood Wicked Witch of the West, garnered critical acclaim, for which she won the 2004 Tony Award for Best Leading Actress in a Musical. 22 Menzel's character also earned her a devoted fan base, particularly among young girls who empathized with her misunderstood character. 22-23 as well as a gay following. 24 She can be heard on the show's original Broadway cast, OBC, recording. During her penultimate performance on January 8, 2005, she fell through a trapdoor during the melting scene and cracked a lower rib. This injury prevented her from performing in her scheduled final show on January 9. Her standby, Shoshana Bean, played Elphaba at that performance. Menzel did, however, make a special appearance, in a red tracksuit, at that performance, performed her last song, and received a 5-minute standing ovation. 25 Menzel was replaced by Elphaba standby Shoshana Bean. 26 In 2010, Broadway.com readers voted Menzel their favorite Elphaba performer out of the then 11 actresses who had played the character on Broadway. 27. Following Wicked, Menzel appeared off-Broadway in the Public Theater's production of See What I Wanna See, a Michael John Lachey Usopp musical whose run ended in December 2005, for which she received Drama Desk Award and Drama League Award nominations. She reprised her Tony Award-winning role as Elphaba in the West End production of Wicked when it opened at London's Apollo Victoria Theatre on September 27, 2006. 28 She starred alongside Helen Dolly Moore as Glinda and Adam Garcia as Fiyero. During her run, she was the highest paid female performer in the West End at $30,000 per week. 29 Menzel finished her West End run on December 30, 2006. She was succeeded by Elphaba standby Carrie Ellis. 30. Menzel played the role of Florence in the 21st anniversary concert of the musical Chess at London's Royal Albert Hall, from May 12 to 13, 2008, alongside Carrie Ellis, Adam Pascal, and Josh Groban. In 2008, she headlined the Powerhouse Theatre's reading of Stephen Sater and Duncan Sheik's musical Nero from July 11 to 13, performing the role of Nero's mistress, Poppaea. 31 She was joined by Glee co-star Lea Michele as Claudia Octavia, Jeffrey Carlesson as Nero, and Michael Arden as Octavia's brother, Britannicus. By February 28, 2013, Menzel was cast to star as Elizabeth in the new Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkie Broadway musical If/Then. Directed by Michael Grieve, with whom Menzel previously worked on the original production of Rent, it had its world premiere at the National Theatre in Washington, D.C., starting with previews on November 5, 2013, until November 24, 2013. Following the out-of-town tryout, the show moved to the Richard Rodgers Theatre on Broadway and began previews on March 4, 2014. It officially opened on March 30, 2014. 32-33 For her performance, Menzel received her second Tony Award nomination for Best Leading Actress in a Musical and performed Always Starting Over, but lost to Jessie Mueller for Beautiful, the Carole King musical. 34 If/Then closed on Broadway on March 22, 2015, after 29 previews and 401 regular performances. Menzel reprised the role of Elizabeth, along with original Broadway cast members Latchins, James Snyder, and Anthony Rapp, on the first 7 stops of the show's national tour from October 2015 to January 2016. 35 She departed the show, along with Latchins and Snyder, on the last day of the Costa Mesa, California engagement, on January 24, 2016. Her replacement was Jackie Burns, who previously served as Menzel's standby in the Broadway production, starting January 27, 2016, in Dallas, Texas. Later, in 2018, Menzel was cast as Jody in Roundabout Theatre Company's world premiere production of Joshua Harmon's new play Skin Tight. The show premiered off-Broadway at the Laura Pels Theatre at the Harold and Miriam Steinberg Center for Theatre. It began previews on May 31, 2018, opened on June 21, 2018, and ran for strictly limited engagement till August 26, 2018. The play earned Menzel rave reviews and marking it her first major New York theater non-musical role. A year later, she reprised her performance in Skin Tight, marking its debut on the West Coast. The production played the Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles, California, running from September 3 to October 6, 2019. While appearing in Skin Tight, Menzel read for the role of Mary Jane in a workshop for the Broadway rock musical Jagged Little Pill. In late 2019, Menzel revealed on Twitter that she was working on a mystery project with Justin Tranter, Caroline Pennell, and Evensler, later known as V. 36 In mid-2021, it was announced that this project is Wild, a musical becoming, set to perform at American Repertory Theatre in Cambridge, MA from December 3, 2021, to January 21, 2022. She was only scheduled to perform through December 23. It was later announced that she would star as BEA, with contributions to the lyrics. 37 On December 17, due to COVID, it was announced that the show on that day was cancelled. 38 It was later announced that the performance on the following 2 days and eventually all the following productions were cancelled. 39 Making December 16 her last performance. Redwood, 2025. Menzel plays the main role of Jessie in Redwood, a musical that premiered at La Jolla Playhouse in San Diego, California on February 25, 2024. 40 The musical opened on Broadway at the Nederlander Theatre, the same theater where Menzel made her Broadway debut in Rent, on February 13, 2025. 140, 142, 43 Menzel and Tina Landau created the musical along with composer/co-lyricist Kate Diaz. 44, 45, 46. Redwood was met with mixed reviews. Following not receiving any Tony nominations and low ticket sales, it closed on Broadway on May 18, 2025, after 17 previews and 127 regular performances. Music career. Menzel initially struggled to cross over into a solo music career beyond stage musicals, claiming the industry did not take her seriously as a pop or rock singer due to her Broadway origins. 47 Menzel performed at the 1998 Lilith Fair Summer Concert Festival and continues to write and perform original music. She has toured extensively and frequently performs in various venues throughout New York City. She produced and released her debut album, Still I Can't Be Still, for Hollywood Records in 1998. One single from the album, Minuet, made the radio and record CHR/Pop Tracks chart at number 48 in October 1998. 48 Following the album release, she embarked on a promotional tour, but after selling fewer than 10,000 copies in the US and missing the Billboard 200, Menzel's label put the album out of print, and she was dropped from the label. However, the album was re-released once she began to rise to greater fame with her Tony-winning performance in Wicked. Her second album, Here, was released independently by Zell Records in 2004. Menzel contributed to the soundtrack of Desperate Housewives in 2005. She also appears on Ray Charles's album Genius and Friends, which was also released in 2005, on the track I Will Be There. In 2007, she appeared on the Beowulf soundtrack singing the end credits song, A Hero Comes Home. Also, in 2007, Menzel's powerful singing voice led her to be asked to accompany the baritone British X Factor runner-up, Radian Roberts, on his debut album, duetting on the song What If. Menzel after appearing on the Today Show in 2008. Her third solo album, I Stand, was released on January 29, 2008. Produced by Menzel's top choice collaborator Glenn Ballard, the album features soaring pop ballads and includes many new songs, including the lead single, Brave, the title track I Stand, and a song released on EP, Gorgeous. 49 The album debuted at number 58 on the Billboard 200, making it the first solo album by Menzel to make the charts. There are 5 versions of this album: the original version, the special limited edition, the iTunes version, the Barnes & Noble edition, and the Borders edition. Menzel wrote 9 of the 10 songs on her album, and was the sole writer on the song Forever. 50. On April 1, 2008, Menzel kicked off her 2008 to 2009 I Stand tour in support of her new album, performing 4 sold-out legs. The concert at Rose Hall at Lincoln Center in New York City was filmed for the PBS television series Soundstage. Menzel was joined by special guests, superstar Josh Groban and saxophonist Ravi Coltrane. On November 11, 2008, Menzel released Hope, written by Paul Hampton, benefiting Stand Up to Cancer. On November 27, 2008, she performed I Stand on the M&M's Chocolate Float as part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. 51-52. On July 19, 2010, Menzel performed Defying Gravity and What I Did for Love in front of President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama at a Broadway celebration, in performance at the White House. The concert aired on PBS on October 20, 2010. 53. In April 2010, Menzel returned to the concert stage, embarking on her Barefoot at the Symphony tour, in which she was accompanied by major symphony orchestras. Her performances included collaborations with the New York Philharmonic, the Boston Pops Orchestra, and the North Carolina Symphony, and featured symphonic arrangements by New York composer and producer Rob Mounsey. In October 2011, Menzel returned to London to perform a one-night-only concert in the United Kingdom at the Royal Albert Hall with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with Marvin Hamlisch conducting. Menzel's concert stop in Toronto was filmed at the Royal Conservatory of Music on November 17 and 18, 2011, for her second PBS special. She was accompanied by the Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony with Marvin Hamlisch conducting and special guest Taye Diggs, Menzel's then husband. Idina Menzel Live, Barefoot at the Symphony was released as a live CD and DVD and aired on PBS in March 2012. With musical director Rob Mounsey producing. 54. Menzel performing in Washington, D.C., in 2008. Menzel announced she would continue live performances in 2012. The first date she announced was July 8, 2012, at Ravinia Festival near Chicago, Illinois. 55. She made her Carnegie Hall solo debut, originally on October 29, 2012. 56. However, due to Hurricane Sandy's impact on New York City, it was postponed until January 13, 2013. 57. Menzel toured Australia in June 2013 with shows in South Australia, Melbourne, Brisbane, and 2 at the Sydney Opera House. On June 17, 2014, during a concert at New York City's Radio City Music Hall, Menzel confirmed that she was working on a Christmas album that would contain original material to be released later that same year. In that concert, she performed one of the original tunes from the album, December Prayer. 58. The album, Holiday Wishes, was released on October 14, 2014. 59. The album has so far peaked at number 10 on the Billboard 200, becoming her highest charting album as a solo lead artist. Holiday Wishes also marked the first that a woman had 3 different albums, along with the cast recording to Frozen and If/Then, peak within the top 20 within 10 months of the release date. Holiday Wishes also become the second ever Christmas album to chart before Halloween during the SoundScan era after Garth Brooks's 1992 album Beyond the Season. 60. On November 26, 2014, Menzel announced through her Facebook page that she would be touring during the summer of 2015, making it her first global tour and first time playing shows in Europe and Asia. 61. Menzel was honored with the Breakthrough Artist Award at the 2014 Billboard Women in Music Awards ceremony. 62. Menzel sang the Star-Spangled Banner a cappella at Super Bowl 49 on February 1, 2015. 63-64 Menzel's rendition earned mixed reviews from critics, who praised the quality of her voice but questioned some of her stylistic choices, namely tempo and volume. 65-64-66 In a complimentary review, Marcos Papadopoulos of the Digital Journal felt Menzel redeemed her reputation as a strong vocalist after pundits had criticized her live performance of Let It Go at Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve the previous year. 67. On August 5, 2016, Menzel announced she would release her eponymous fifth album, on September 23. Of the release, Menzel stated, "I poured my heart out and used my music as a place to kind of figure some things out. It's a really personal album." 68. Marking it as her first original pop studio album in 8 years since I Stand, the album debuted at number 29 on the US Billboard 200. With the success of the album, Menzel embarked on a world tour in 2017 that traveled to Asia, Europe, and North America. 69. Menzel's concert stop in Las Vegas was recorded for her second live album entitled Idina Live and released on October 12, 2018. 70. On March 12, 2018, it was announced that Menzel would join Josh Groban for his Bridges tour. For this tour, she served as Groban's opening act before joining him later during his set for 2 duets of Lullaby and Falling Slowly. Menzel only performed with Groban on the first leg of North America in various cities, including Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, Phoenix, Chicago, Boston, Pittsburgh, and a sold-out performance at Madison Square Garden in New York City. 71. The New York City show, entitled Bridges Live from Madison Square Garden, was also filmed and released in movie theaters and later a live CD and DVD release with an airing on PBS. 72. On May 11, 2019, it was revealed that she had signed to Scooter Braun and SB Projects for music management. 4 years later, on August 22, 2023, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Menzel was no longer being represented by Braun, having left his management that January. 73. On October 18, 2019, Menzel released her second holiday album entitled Christmas, A Season of Love from Schoolboy and Decca Records on October 18, 2019. 74. It debuted at number 2 on Billboard's U.S. Top Holiday Albums. In support of it, Menzel embarked on a 3-city concert tour in the East Coast, including a sold-out return to New York's Carnegie Hall. On October 11, 2022, Menzel announced on her Instagram page that she would be releasing a concert special on Disney Plus on December 9 titled Idina Menzel, Which Way to the Stage. The special will consist of concert footage from Madison Square Garden in New York. The title is a nod to Menzel's first line as Maureen in Rant. 75. On August 18, 2023, Menzel released Drama Queen, a dance-themed pop album, via BMG Showcase. The album was developed during the COVID-19 pandemic. She collaborated with singer-songwriters such as Jake Shears, Nile Rodgers, and more. 76 singles from the album included Move, Dramatic, and Beast. She intended this album as a love letter to her friends in the LGBTQ+ community and to inspire people to release their inner drama queen. As promotion for the album, Menzel performed a set of concerts with a group of backup dancers at various Pride events across North America and London. In the summer of 2024, she embarked on her 20-city Take Me or Leave Me tour across North America. 77. Film and television career. Early screen appearances, 2001 to 2010. Menzel's feature film debut was the 2001 romantic comedy Kissing Jessica Stein, in which she had a minor role as a bridesmaid. 78. Followed by an uncredited appearance as Linda in the dark comedy Just a Kiss, 2002. 79. 80. While starring in Wicked, she appeared in the coming-of-age dramedy The Toll Booth, 2004, playing main character Sarah Beth's, Marla Sokoloff, pregnant sister, Raquel Cohen-Flaxman. 79. Menzel starred in her first major film venture in 2005 when she reprised the role of Maureen Johnson in the film adaptation of Rant, directed by Chris Columbus. 81. Menzel was one of 6 original Broadway cast members who returned for the film 81-82, including then-husband Taye Diggs. 23. Although rumors of a Rent movie had persisted for several years before it was greenlit, Menzel did not consider herself eligible because she assumed A-list Hollywood actors would be preferred if a film version ever materialized, until Columbus approached her directly. 23. However, Menzel was the musical's only main female cast member not replaced by a younger actress. 82. Despite all actors being several years older than their characters by the time the film was released. 81. Menzel felt the film's chemistry benefited from retaining most of the show's original cast. 23. Rent was released to mixed reviews and underperformed at the box office. 83-84. But critics complimented Menzel's performance. Entertainment Weekly film critic Owen Gleiberman called Menzel's duet with actress Tracy Toms, as girlfriend Joanne Jefferson, a highlight. 85. IGN's Eric Goldman described Menzel as incredibly charismatic and fun, although her performance failed to interest him in performance art. 86. The following year, Menzel and her castmates were nominated for Best Acting Ensemble at the 11th Critics' Choice Awards. 87. Menzel in London in 2006. In 2006, she played Vera Rivkin in Robert Towne's Ask the Dust, a romantic drama starring Colin Farrell and Salma Hayek. 88. Menzel's character, a mysterious Jewish woman, harbors unrequited feelings for struggling writer Arturo, played by Farrell. 88-89. Despite her limited screen time, she considers Vera one of her favorite film roles, citing her character's lack of singing and difficulty overcoming difficult situations as essential to demonstrating her versatility. 90 Ask the Dust was poorly received by film critics. 91 However, Kim Newman of Empire cautioned audiences to remember Menzel's name, writing, "The film comes to life when she barges in and finds it hard to keep it together after she's gone." 92 The San Francisco Chronicle's Ruth Stein said Menzel enlivens the material by sharing more chemistry with Farrell during their brief scenes together than Hayek does throughout the entire film. 93 In 2007, Menzel appeared in the musical fantasy film Enchanted as Nancy Tremaine, the fiancée of Patrick Dempsey's character Robert and Giselle's, Amy Adams, romantic rival. 94 Despite being a musical, Menzel famously does not sing in the film. 95 Several songs composer Alan Menken and lyricist Stephen Schwartz had written for her character were ultimately omitted from the final version. 96-97 Menzel was offered the role without auditioning, and was flattered that Disney would cast her solely based on her acting. 97-98 Menzel explained that singing would have been out of character for Nancy, who is a New York native unlike the film's more fantastical characters. 97 She opted to portray Nancy with vulnerability as opposed to a typical mean girlfriend that everyone's going to hate. 98 Enchanted was a critical and commercial success. 99 But the Hollywood Reporter's Kirk Honeycutt and Jim Lane of the Sacramento News and Review felt the film underused Menzel's talents. 101 Some critics and fans also expressed disappointment over Menzel's lack of musical numbers. 96 102 From 2010 to 2013, Menzel had a recurring role on the musical comedy television series Glee as Shelby Corcoran, the coach of rival Glee club Vocal Adrenaline, and the biological mother of series lead Rachel Berry, Lee Michelle. Fans of the show had long observed a strong physical resemblance between Menzel and Michelle, and lobbied for the former to be cast as Michelle's on-screen mother. 103 Menzel appeared in 12 episodes across the series 79 and covered songs such as I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables and Poker Face by Lady Gaga. 104 Frozen and Worldwide Recognition, 2013 to 2016. In 2013, Menzel voiced Elsa, a reclusive young queen struggling with her magical ability to control ice and snow, in Disney's animated film Frozen. 105 After failing to secure the lead role in Disney's animated film Tangled, 2010, the studio rediscovered Menzel's audition reel while casting Frozen. 106 107 Loosely based on the titular villain in Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale The Snow Queen, Menzel's character was rewritten into a misunderstood anti-heroine for Disney's adaptation, inspired by songwriters Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez's creation of her anthem Let It Go, 108 which they wrote specifically for Menzel due to its demanding vocal range. 109 Released to critical acclaim, Frozen became the highest-grossing animated film upon release, earning over $1.2 billion worldwide. 111 Meanwhile, Let It Go became a global phenomenon. 112 With countless fans and artists releasing their own internet covers and parodies. 47 111 A crossover radio hit, the song peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, making Menzel the first Tony Award-winning actor to achieve a top 10 placement on the chart. 113 114 115 Despite its non-commercial sound, 116 Let It Go ultimately became one of the best-selling singles of 2014, selling over 10.9 million copies. 117 118 Menzel has since reprised her role as Elsa in most tie-in media, including the Disney Infinity and Kingdom Hearts video games. 119 The short films Frozen Fever, 2015, and Olaf's Frozen Adventure, 2017, the film Ralph Breaks the Internet, 2018, and the sequel Frozen 2, 2019. 120 121 122 123 Menzel sang Let It Go at the 86th Academy Awards in March 2014, where the song eventually won the Academy Award for Best Original Song. While introducing her performance, actor John Travolta mispronounced her name as Adele Dazeem. The mispronunciation was widely ridiculed by fans and the media, and subsequently became a viral internet meme. 124. Although initially thrown off by the incident 125, Menzel was not upset about the mishap, and credits it with introducing her to a wider audience. 126. 125. To promote her then current role in Broadway's If/Then, the production printed satirical playbills that credited Menzel as Adele Dazeem, and referenced her previous credits in Nerd, Rent, Wickedly, Wicked, and Farfignujan, Frozen. 127. 128. Shortly after the ceremony, Travolta publicly apologized to Menzel. 127. At the 87th Academy Awards the following year, Menzel presented Best Original Song with Travolta and jokingly introduced him as Glom Gazengo, who finally pronounced her name correctly upon joining her on stage. 129. Although Menzel had already been well known within the Broadway community prior to working with Disney, she was not as recognized outside of her stage credits. 79. The success of Frozen, Let It Go, and the Oscars incident are credited with establishing Menzel as an international superstar. 79. 130. 131. Helping bolster her film and music careers beyond musical theater. 79. 130. 131. She considers Travolta mispronouncing her name to be one of the best things that happened for my career. 125. In 2015, Menzel was slated to star on the Ellen DeGeneres produced sitcom Happy Time, which would have been her first television role since Glee. 132. However, the project never came to fruition. 132. Film actress, 2017, present. Following the success of Frozen, Menzel continued to pursue more prominent roles in film and television projects. She starred as C.C. Bloom, a role originated by one of her idols Bette Midler. 133. In Lifetime's 2017 remake of the 1988 film Beaches. 134. 135. The melodrama follows the decades-long friendship and rivalry between a brassy singer, Menzel, and a reserved lawyer, played by Nia Long. 136. 137. Due to her typical avoidance of revivals and fondness for the original film, Menzel was initially hesitant to star in the project, but ultimately embraced the remake as an opportunity to introduce a classic story about female friendship to a younger generation. 138. The remake was conceived around Menzel's singing career in a similar manner to how the original incorporated Midler's 139, whose songs she covered for the film's soundtrack. 133. Premiering to mixed reviews. 78. 140. Several critics found the remake inferior to the original, but praised Menzel's musical contributions. 141. 142. CNN's Brian Lowry said the lure of providing Menzel an opportunity to let loose on these familiar tunes is more than enough to qualify as a win for Lifetime, even if the movie itself never achieves liftoff. 143. Katie Rife of the AV Club, Linda Holmes of NPR, and Marianne Sleesman of TV Guide each found Menzel's acting adequate but lacking the conviction and humor Midler brought to the role, resulting in a less compelling version of the same character. 139. 142. 144. In 2019, she starred opposite Adam Sandler in the crime thriller Uncut Gems, playing his character's estranged and frustrated wife Dinah Ratner. 145. The role was considered a stark departure for Menzel, who longed to be involved in a project that differed from the family-friendly material she had become synonymous with. 146. Directors Josh and Benny Safdie cast her based on her performance as a similar character in Skin Tight, and Menzel drew upon personal experience for the role, having grown up around confident women like Dinah in New York. 146. She described Dinah as the voice for how the audience feels as they're going through this roller coaster ride and avoided devolving her into merely a stereotype. 147 The film and Menzel's performance drew critical acclaim. 148 147 Writing for the Post and Courier, Jocelyn Novak found Menzel compelling in the rare role that doesn't make use of her famous singing voice. 149 While Johnny Oleksinsky of the New York Post called her delightfully abrasive. 150. In 2021, Menzel co-starred alongside Camila Cabello, Billy Porter, and James Corden in Kay Cannon's jukebox musical adaptation of the Cinderella fairy tale, playing Cinderella's, Cabello, unkind stepmother Vivian. 151 Despite admiring actresses who had played the villainous role prior, Menzel wanted to eschew the archetypal kind of idea of the straight-ahead evil nemesis in order to uncover the trauma behind the character's cruel nature. 152 In addition to performing several covers for the film 153 Menzel wrote and recorded an original song for her character entitled Dream Girl, 154 which was shortlisted for the Academy Award for Best Original Song. 155 Cinderella received mixed reviews. 156 But Menzel's performance was praised. IndieWire's Kristen Lopez said she played the character deliciously. 157 While Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times described Menzel as her usual spectacular self and arguably the most nuanced and empathetic evil stepmother in Cinderella history. 158 Michael Collery of the Niagara Gazette said Menzel delivers the film's best performance. 159. In 2022, Menzel reprised her role as Nancy in the Enchanted sequel Disenchanted. 160 Now the Queen of Anadalasia as Edwards, James Marsden, wife. 161 Menzel's character sings for the first time. 162 163 In addition to serving as the film's voice of reason. 164 A pop version of Menzel's song, Love Power, was released as the soundtrack's lead single in November 2022. Disenchanted received mixed reviews. Most critics appreciated hearing Menzel sing. 164 165 166 while others found her role brief and her song unmemorable. 167 168 Maria E. Gates of RoachRebert.com called Menzel's performance one of the few that manages to transcend beyond the subpar trappings of the film, lamenting that she is relegated to only a handful of scenes. 169 She also starred in an episode of the HGTV show Celebrity IOU with the Property brothers Drew and Jonathan Scott. 170 In this episode, she helped the brothers renovate a garage for her friend James. 171 172. In 2023, Menzel played Bree Friedman in the coming-of-age comedy You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, reuniting with Sandler. 173 Directed by Sammy Cohen. 174 The film co-stars Menzel and Sandler as Jewish parents raising an adolescent girl as they prepare for her bat mitzvah. 175 Menzel had previously played Sandler's wife in Uncut Gems, while Sandler's real-life wife and children also co-star in You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. 176 Writing for the Los Angeles Times, Gary Goldstein said Menzel fits in well among Sandler's own family. 177 While Matthew Jackson of the AV Club said the duo make a wonderful, and wonderfully grumpy, couple. 178 Abhishek Srivastava of the Times of India said Menzel comes across as extremely authentic and hits all the right notes. 179. She also starred in American Murderer directed by Matthew Gentile. 180 During the ongoing time of the COVID-19 pandemic, Menzel created and launched a brand new YouTube web series for children entitled Idina's Treehouse. The series featured Menzel from her treehouse out in her Los Angeles home that originally was built for her son Walker Nathaniel Diggs. It features a full set of songs, stories, and appearances from Menzel's family and friends. 181 In 2024, alongside Chenoweth, Menzel made a cameo appearance during the One Short Day sequence in the first of the two-part film adaptation of Wicked. 182. Menzel is slated to star alongside Millie Bobby Brown, Amrit Kaur, Julian Dennison, Ben Jackson Walker, Breck Bassinger, and Margot Martindale in Netflix's forthcoming romantic comedy, Just Picture It. 183. Artistry. Voice and influences. Menzel identifies singer Barbra Streisand, pictured, as one of her main musical influences, to whom she has often been compared vocally. 184, 185, 186. Menzel possesses a mezzo-soprano vocal range that spans approximately 3 octaves. 117, 109, 187, 188, 153. For the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Sharon Eberson wrote that Menzel's voice could be categorized as coquettish to flat-out belter and everything in between, and with a stage presence to match she usually is labeled a mezzo-soprano. But why pigeonhole someone so intriguingly offbeat? 189. Eberson observed that she interprets songs as much as an actress as a singer, believing, therein lies her connection to the music and her fans. 189. Describing Menzel as a loud soprano similar to Broadway actress Ethel Merman, Stephen Holden of the New York Times wrote, the sound she creates when she belts is a primal cry embedded in her being that insists that we listen and pay attention. 189. Holden observed that her voice can alternate between babyish and demanding, or it can sound grand and imperial depending on the song choice. 190. According to Andrew Gans of Playbill, Menzel has one of the most unique voices of her generation, a pliable alto that can be sweet and girlish in its middle register and then easily soar to pop-influenced top notes way above high C. 23. Frozen songwriter Kristen Anderson Lopez described Menzel's voice as a warm hug with this warmth and this vulnerability down low. And then, as you bring her higher and higher, she gets stronger and stronger, and more powerful. She just reaches into your soul when she's singing these big, giant songs. 108. Menzel is known for her signature high belting style. The Kennedy Center website cites Menzel as a prime example of a Broadway belter who uses the technique to her advantage. 191. Theater critic Charles Isherwood said the singer has a voice that is very much her own, describing it as totally distinctive with a great belt and a great range. 192. Describing Menzel's voice as husky, which sometimes veers toward shrieking until she effortlessly reins herself in or, amazingly, kicks it up another notch, Melissa Ruggieri of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution believes she possesses a superior instrument both live and in studio. 193. Explaining her own technique, Menzel said she avoids moving her shoulders while singing and prefers to take a smaller breath for a bigger, longer note because there's less air that will come pummeling out. 194. She also maintains her voice by constantly steaming and practicing vocal warm-ups. 192. Describing her routine as very ritualistic and disciplined. 195. Despite her live vocals earning consistent acclaim. 184. 196. Some critics have criticized Menzel's belting for sounding screechy. 197. Skylar Velasco of the Christian Science Monitor observed that the singer made a career out of belting notes that would fry the vocal cords of mere mortals, but felt the emotion of her performances sometimes suffers at the hands of her vocal proficiency. 66. Velasco cited her rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner at Super Bowl 49 as an example of Menzel sacrificing excitement and inspiration for technique, yet delivering an adequate performance nonetheless. 66. Menzel addressed such criticisms during a 2014 concert, explaining that she wishes to sing loud, proud, and from the heart like her idols Merman and Aretha Franklin. 197. Tim Smith of the Baltimore Sun wrote that Menzel's high wattage vocal cords and intense phrasing make a mark whenever she sings. 192. Menzel admits that she finds some of her most famous songs challenging, namely songs from the Frozen films, which push her to vocal extremes and require constant warming up and sometimes lowering the key for live performances. 108. The term powerhouse has often been used in the media to describe Menzel's vocal ability. 198, 199, 200, 201, 202. Menzel's vocal style has drawn comparisons to singer Barbra Streisand, whose song Don't Rain on My Parade she often covers, including in tribute to her at the 2008 Kennedy Center Honors. 184-203 Menzel said she had long aspired to have a career as successful as Streisand, to whose Jewish upbringing Menzel has also been compared, with fans deeming her the next big Jewish icon in music. 184 Menzel was particularly inspired by Streisand's performance in the film A Star Is Born, 1976, 204 and cites singers Franklin, Billie Holiday, Etta James, Chaka Khan, and Sarah Vaughan among her vocal idols. 205-206 Despite emulating her inspirations, Menzel claims she maintains the importance of finding her own voice. 20. Some critics have dubbed Menzel the Streisand of her generation. 185, 186, 207 Similar comparisons have been drawn between Menzel and singer Bette Midler. 184. Musical style. Professionally trained as a classical singer from age 8, Menzel decided to pursue different genres such as R&B and jazz once she began high school. 208 Upon becoming a wedding singer, Menzel was eventually exposed to a wide variety of musical genres, ranging from jazz to rock and Motown. 208 and would often experiment with new arrangements of traditional songs. 195 She credits her wedding singer background with training her to improvise new vocal arrangements, which in turn helps her ad-lib alternative versions of songs when she is feeling unwell or her voice is tired. 195 Her set lists tend to incorporate an eclectic combination of original material and covers of popular pop, rock, musical theater, and film songs. 209 Selecting an assortment of songs she expects fans want to hear and feels inspired to attempt new interpretations of. 210 Jay Handelman of the Sarasota Herald Tribune opined that Menzel's song choices reinforce her own offbeat personality. 209 According to Menzel, her song selections usually indicate a milestone, choosing to convey stories and memories about her life using music. 199 Menzel often opts to perform barefoot in concert, which has become a trademark of her live performances. 197 She also enjoys conversing with audience members in between musical performances. 186 In addition to her vocal prowess, Menzel has been noted for her charming and witty banter. 186 130 Smith described her as a pro at delivering stage banter and as quick on the draw with one-liners as seasoned stand-up comedians. 192 On her stage presence, the Denver Post critic Remark Rinaldi wrote that Menzel delivers the kind of self-assurance that can only come from beating out Kristen Chenoweth for a Tony. She comes out on stage, dressed like she doesn't care, acting a little dizzy, but knowing all along she's gonna hit the right notes. 211 Menzel has become closely associated with songs about self-empowerment. 210 212 Specifically her signature songs Defying Gravity and Let It Go. 213 Discussing Disney author Amy M. Davis believes Menzel's voice has become associated with rebellion for Broadway fans. 213 However, the artist claims such themes have made her feel fraudulent at times because she herself does not always feel empowered. 20 Subsequently, she began incorporating more emotional material into her sets, such as Radiohead's Creep. 210 Although Menzel co-writes most of her own material as a singer-songwriter. 154 214 215 216 She considers herself a collaborator rather than a songwriter, explaining that she prefers working with professional songwriters or producers. They start playing some music, and I like to sing. I can sing melodies, I come up with titles and lyrical ideas, but I'm really not good at making decisions. 195 She has frequently collaborated with songwriter and producer Glenn Ballard, and tends to draw upon lyrics from her personal diary and melodies from a tape recorder. 205 Menzel claims she has never completed writing a song entirely on her own, finding the process to be too stressful. I never had a good song that I wrote, so to Act like I'm this great songwriter, I would be just a fraud. But, I'm good at bringing myself to it, being a good collaborator in the room. 195. She cites Joni Mitchell and Annie Lennox among her musical influences, describing them as singer-songwriters who had these amazing voices but also were incredible storytellers and lyricists, while expressing admiration for musicians Bono, Sting, and Seal. 205. The Ithacan's Preston Arment observed that what Menzel may lack in songwriter ability, she makes up for with stunning vocals that remind us why listeners will never stop loving her. 217. AllMusic biographer Marcy Donaldson described Menzel's studio albums as a combination of adult alternative, vocal, and contemporary pop music. 218. Menzel's fifth studio album, which she considers to be her most personal to date, contains a combination of ballads and upbeat tracks that explore themes about home, personal loss, empowerment. 217. Relationships and starting over, much of which was inspired by her divorce from Taye Diggs. 215. 201. Bailey Flynn of The Heights believes the album demonstrates several trademarks for which Menzel has become known: power ballads that give her huge vocal range and mind-blowing control all the chance they need to show off. 201. Menzel described performing her own songs live as scarier than singing covers or songs from established shows because you're a little bit more transparent. There's no costume or character I'm hiding behind, yet sometimes it's more rewarding because of that, describing the feeling of hearing fans sing songs she has written herself as incredible. 205. Legacy and public image. Menzel has been called one of Broadway's greatest performers. 219. 220. 221. 222. 223. Tim Beadle of DC.com declared her arguably the most widely recognized Broadway star in the country. 224. Several media publications have nicknamed her the Queen of Broadway due to her success and impact on the genre. 225. 226. 227. 228. 229. 230. 231. 232. Often described as one of the defining singing voices of her generation. 233. 234. Apple Music referred to her as one of the 21st century's premier vocalists. 235. Jenny Singer of Glamour declared Menzel one of history's greatest musical theater vocalists. 236. While Valerie Complex of Deadline Hollywood called her an influential performer who has left an indelible mark on the industry. 237. The Toronto Sun's Jim Slatek dubbed her this generation's Broadway icon. 238. In a 2020 retrospective, Cleveland.com's Troy L. Smith named Menzel the best vocalist of 2013, claiming the success of that year's Let It Go only cemented her legacy as one of Broadway's greatest stars of all time. 219. The previous year, Broadway World recognized Menzel as one of the decade's 10 most influential Broadway stars. 239. Time Out ranked Menzel the 19th greatest female Broadway actress of all time, observing that she established a stratospheric reputation largely based on the popularity of only two roles, Rent and Wicked. 240. Vulture's Jackson McHenry attributed the popularity and endurance of Defying Gravity to Menzel, believing few singers can service the song as successfully as she has. 241. In 2018, NPR named Let It Go one of the 200 greatest female performed songs of the 21st century, at number 182. 242. Menzel in 2023. Menzel's successful crossover from stage actor to television, film, and music star have been discussed at length. 131. With Redbook dubbing her one of Broadway's biggest crossover success stories. 243. Menzel's biography on Stars described her as the kind of stage-to-screen star Broadway seldom produces anymore. 188. Marty Hewley of The Oregonian shared a similar sentiment, writing in 2012 that although Broadway does not guarantee global superstardom as often as it used to, Menzel is a notable exception to the rule of Broadway's declining clout. 244 original Broadway cast recordings of Rent and If/Then, both albums prominently featuring Menzel as a soloist, debuted within the top 20 of the Billboard 200. 113. In a 2014 article, Billboard theorized that Menzel's crossover success bodes well for Broadway's would-be stars, believing Let It Go kicked open the door for future composers of stage and screen. 245. When Menzel returned to Broadway in 2014 shortly after the success of Frozen, Susie Evans of Billboard observed that audience reception was more akin to that of a rock star than a musical theater performer. 246. Menzel's fan base has nicknamed themselves Fanzels. 246. In addition to her perceived authenticity, Isherwood attributes the artist's large following to the successes of Rent and Wicked, two era-defying, hugely successful Broadway musicals. 192. Toronto Star Theatre critic Richard Ozonian credits the same two shows with solidifying her reputation as one of the industry's most dynamic musical theatre stars. 247. She has been described as Broadway royalty, due to a combination of her successful stage career and playing royalty in several Disney projects. 248. 249. According to Akiva Gottlieb of the Los Angeles Times, Menzel's public persona is largely defined by her performances in Frozen and Wicked, and recording Christmas albums. 146. As an actress, Menzel has earned a reputation for playing misunderstood characters both on stage and in film. 154. Admitting she gravitates towards complex roles. 152. 250. She cited power and vulnerability as common traits among characters she has played. 251. According to the Irish Independent, Menzel has become a go-to actress for producers looking for a feisty female lead. 252. While the Globe and Mail's Courtney Shea said she forged her career playing strong and sensational females. 251. Menzel believes Broadway has always offered compelling roles for women of all ages, whereas she considers Hollywood to be more susceptible to ageism and sexism. 252. Menzel is revered as a role model for young women, particularly due to her role as Elsa, which has contributed her a large following among predominantly female Frozen fans. 253. Although she takes her responsibility as a role model seriously. 253. She has stated that she does not always feel like a role model in her personal life and feels uncomfortable bearing the responsibility at times. 252. 254. Menzel has a prominent gay following. 255. 256. Dating back to the 1990s when she starred in Rent. 232. 257. Rent was also one of the first Broadway shows to show a lesbian relationship. 231. The performer attributes this to playing several repressed characters who are hiding something within them that they're afraid to let people see, and then finally they embrace it. 257. Michael Heaton, a critic for The Plain Dealer, noted that some parents have expressed concerns about the blue humor Menzel uses in her typical concerts in an attempt to appeal to both her adult gay and young fans. 256. Menzel's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Diana Bonaci of Evoke.ie dubbed Menzel the voice of the new generation. 198. In 2014, Menzel was awarded Breakthrough Artist by Billboard. 206. In 2019, Menzel and actress Kristen Bell, who plays her sister in Frozen, received neighboring stars. Menzel's was the 2682nd and Bell's was the 2681st on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 258. 259. Menzel was inducted into the live theater category. 260. Menzel is also among the wealthiest Broadway performers, due in part to her television, film, and music careers. 261. In 2022, Menzel was announced as a recipient of a Disney Legends Award for her outstanding contributions to the Walt Disney Company. 262. With her D23 entry reading whether on stage or screen, Idina Menzel's unequivocal signature talents have shown through countless projects across her almost 30-year career. 263. In October 2024, President Joe Biden awarded Menzel with the National Medal of Arts. 264. Menzel received an honorary doctorate from University of Pennsylvania in 2023. 265. Personal life. Menzel married Taye Diggs on January 11, 2003. They met in 1995 during the original production of Rent, in which Diggs portrayed Benjamin Coffin III, the landlord. 266. They would appear in several films together. 80. On September 2, 2009, she gave birth to their son. 267. 268. In late 2013, it was reported that Menzel and Diggs had separated after 10 years of marriage. 269. Menzel cited negative public reaction to the interracial aspect of their marriage as a factor in the divorce. 270. As well as other unnamed complicated reasons. 271. The two continued to co-parent their son. 270. Menzel began dating actor Aaron Lower, and in August 2015, they bought a home together in Encino, Los Angeles. 272. On September 23, 2016, Menzel announced that she and Lower were engaged. 273. 274. They were married September 22, 2017, in a backyard ceremony at their home. 275. 276. Menzel identifies as a feminist, saying, "I love that I play all of these strong women. But they're not just strong, they're women who have a really deep vulnerability and need to go through a journey in order to harness their power." 277. Philanthropy and other ventures. Menzel was an honorary chair of the Imperial Court of New York's annual charity coronation ball, Night of 8,000 Gowns, on March 21, 2009, sharing the title with Elton John, Patti LuPone, John Cameron Mitchell, Joan Rivers, and Robin Strasser. 278. On May 17, 2009, Menzel performed at a special benefit concert in Atlanta, Georgia, to raise money for the Pace Academy Diversity Program in coordination with the Ron Clark Academy. 279. The event resulted in the funding of 2 scholarships for Ron Clark Academy students to attend Pace Academy. The event was organized and hosted by Philip Mikado, a former Rent cast member and current Diversity Program Director at Pace Academy. 280. 281. In 2010, Menzel founded the A. Broad Irway Foundation with then-husband Taye Diggs as a means of supporting young people in the arts. A Broad Irway sponsors camp programs, theater workshops, and innovative educational programming, and offers scholarships and opportunities to experience professional performances. In summer 2011, Camp Broad Irway welcomed girls from underserved Metro New York communities to attend a performing arts camp, run by Menzel and a team of acclaimed professional Broadway artists including Taye Diggs. During this camp, the girls collaborated with Broadway artists to write an original musical that was performed at a theater in New York. The camp was held at Belvoir Terrace Summer Camp in Lenox, Massachusetts. 282. Menzel has long championed LGBT rights by partnering with organizations like the Trevor Project. 263. 283. The Give a Damn campaign, filming a public service announcement. 284. And designing a t-shirt. 285, and the No 8 campaign, posing for one of their trademark duct-taped silence photos. 286. In April 2014, Menzel presented at Broadway Cares/Equity Fights AIDS Easter Bonnet competition with Bryan Cranston, Fran Drescher, and Denzel Washington, after raising donations at her Broadway show If/Then. 287. In 2022, Menzel had launched a clothing line with QVC called Encore by Idina Menzel. 288. Also in 2022, Menzel co-wrote a children's book with her sister, Cara Menzel, called Loud Mouse with illustrations by Jacqueline Sinket. The book is semi-autobiographical about a mouse named Dee who loves to sing loudly. The book was published by Disney Hyperion on September 27, 2022. 289 In promotion of the book, Menzel released the Loud Mouse song, which she co-wrote with Laura Veltz, on September 23, 2022. 290 In 2023, Menzel and her sister Cara Menzel released a sequel to Loud Mouse, called Proud Mouse, with Jacqueline Sinket returning for illustrations. 291. Following the October 7 Hamas-led attack on Israel, on November 20, 2023, Menzel performed at Ummit's Evening of Solidarity with the Children of Israel in Sony Hall in Manhattan, recognizing donors who supported Ummit's network of religious Jewish educational institutions in Israel. Kristen Bell, born July 18, 1980, is an American actress. Her work includes both film and television, and her accolades include an Emmy Award, in addition to nominations for 2 Golden Globe Awards. In 2025, Time included her in their selection of the 100 most influential people in the world. 1. Bell began her acting career starring in stage productions, while attending the Tisch School of the Arts at New York University. She made her Broadway stage debut as Becky Thatcher in the comedy musical The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 2001, and appeared in a Broadway revival of The Crucible, 2002. She then appeared in the action film Spartan and received praise for her performance in the television drama film Gracie's Choice, both 2004. Bell had her breakout performance as the title character in the television series Veronica Mars, 2004 to 2007, a role she reprised in the 2014 spin-off film and the 2019 revival. She also starred as Elle Bishop in the superhero drama series Heroes, 2007 to 2008, voiced the titular narrator in the teen drama series Gossip Girl, 2007 to 2012, and its 2021 standalone sequel, and starred in the Showtime comedy series House of Lies, 2012 to 2016. She received nominations for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress for her leading roles in the NBC comedy series The Good Place, 2016 to 2020, and the Netflix romantic comedy series Nobody Wants This, 2024. The latter also earned her a nomination for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. During her time on Veronica Mars, Bell starred in the television musical film Reefer Madness, the movie musical, 2005, and the horror film Pulse, 2006. She has since appeared in a number of comedy films, including Forgetting Sarah Marshall, 2008, Couples Retreat, 2009, You Again, 2010, The Boss, 2016, Bad Moms, 2016, and A Bad Mom's Christmas, 2017. She received further recognition for voicing Princess Anna in the Disney animated films Frozen, 2013, and Frozen 2, 2019. Background: Kristen Bell was born on July 18, 1980, in Huntington Woods, a northern suburb of Detroit. To her mother, Lorelei Jo, née Frigier, was a registered nurse, and her father,